Didn't even think it was going to be anyone else. I always like, hey, who's first? Who's first? My man John Kim, no doubt. Shout out, brother. Gosh, we in this. We 16 days. 16 days? Man, checking in from work. Where do you work, John? I want to know that. Kevin, what's good today, Kevin? How you treating yourself? Thank you for the message. Vegas, Cal. I don't understand the connection between Vegas and Cali, but Mad Mac 80 might know. We just might know. It's about that time. Day 16. Mad Mac. What we're doing here, we're talking money, we're talking some mindset. We even throw in some football, I don't know what the people need, what the people want, but we answer questions. That's what we want to do. I love interacting. Today we get to enter into the idea of investing, enter into the concepts. How do you begin? Where do you start? What are fundamental principles we all need to better understand? That is what we're here to talk about. So, hey, man, 6'2", undersized for a junior, tight end in high school, Vegas Cal. So you're asking, what should you do? Well, first, you take your advantages. So you become not a tight end, you become an H-back, which it's not a bad category, brother. I was in that one. And you start to look at, all right, if I'm not going to be a 6'4", 6'5", starting tight end at the next level, what am I? Well, that H-back position does the hybrid mentality. It says, hey, you maybe aren't going to be able to beat a safety or beat an outside linebacker in a route. So what can you do? Well, you can knock them out. That's always a good one. Go around and hit people. H-back, fullback, you got to be able to lead up in some holes. But what I would recommend, as I do to all, learn to long snap. That'll give you a value on every job or every team that you get onto. Pat McDevitt, welcome in. But stop seeing yourself as solely a tight end. You are an H-back. You can maneuver. You can do other things. And so it's just that subtle shift in responsibilities. That's, when I was at Washington State, I was, I'm a little under 6'2". Program would probably say 6'4", but at 6'1" and change, a reporter told me I was the shortest starting tight end in NCAA football that year. So take that for what it's worth. Not-for-profit right now during COVID, social work helping seniors and community during these tough times. Man, John Kim, you just my dude. I can't wait to continue to grow with you, brother. Mad Mac. Okay, so I work for Quicken Loans, and I have set up my 401k pretty aggressively. Is 15% a good start? So you're talking about 15% of your paycheck going into your 401k. Yes, it's an excellent start. Mad Mac, what is the employer match on that 401k? 7% 401k and 8% IRA. So you're splitting. Now, most people do this for a few reasons. Number one, they feel like some fees in their 401k are high. Or number two, they want to go out and actually have some more, flexibility or more options from an investment perspective. I am not a huge fan of splitting up my retirement accounts. If I have a 401k and I have some solid options in there, I am totally fine putting all 15% of that in your 401k. Having said that, with your splitting, I would look at turning that IRA into a Roth IRA and be able to have both tax deferred in the 401k and tax free growth in the Roth IRA. So, one, Quicken Loans, obviously a booming, great company. I'd be curious of what their employer match is. Our fundamental policy in the money buckets, I made $1, I saved a dime, gets us to 10%. So being at 15%, nothing but applause for you. Respect the focus and the intention. So trying to learn to long snap now. Might try to walk on in college. So John Freeman, trying to learn to long snap. It's a crazy little game. It feels like you're hyperextending your elbows every time you do it. But if you can do it consistently without looking, without thinking, I guarantee a college will give you at least an opportunity to show what you can do. Definitely go check out junior colleges, man. That stuff is just as competitive, and it always gives you an opportunity to keep growing. So love that you're learning the long snap. It is a funny little routine to be able to say, on the dime, I could throw a ball 14 yards in 0.7 seconds and hit it right where I need it. But yeah, I learned I was a backup long snapper everywhere I went. I actually won some competitions against other fullbacks in tryouts because after all was said and done, I asked, hey, can I stay and show you I can long snap? The other jackos had to walk into the locker room. I grabbed the special teams coordinator, the offensive coordinator, the head coach. Everybody sat and watched me long snap just more. Like, hey, what could this guy do that everybody else couldn't? And I didn't learn to long snap until the NFL. Am I too WBU? Am I too short for fullback or running back at 5'6"? I played both at my high school. Hell no. One, I love that you play fullback, obviously, fraternity. Darren Sproles, man, he with cleats on was 5'6". So no, you're never too short to play football. It's a toughness game. It's a mental game. Yes, there are some advantages to size, but there are also some advantages to the other way of size. So I would definitely learn to be a scat back, work on your pass catching because you're going to be in on third downs. You're going to be able to not only pick up a blitz, but also be an escape route. Learn how to run the slot receiver routes. Learn how to get out of the backfield and be able to beat a linebacker one-on-one. But if you have the toughness of a fullback at 5'6" and you are quick on your feet, you have a very good position and fill a lot of holes. Are you going to do a video of your favorite play and what made it so good? Josh, 123. Yes, I am. I got the clip, and then there was something wrong as I downloaded it, so it's coming. I got a lot of plays. We got into this old NFL Films website that you can go and download plays. The next one I want to send for my plays was my preseason game 2011 against the Texans, where in 4 plays on the opening drive, I made the team. And I know that because the running back coach came up to me on the sidelines after that drive and was like, congratulations, that was unreal. Because I went all out. So yes, more videos of me playing back in the day are definitely coming. I love that people want those. Love seeing that Browns helmet on the background. I gotta change this. Gosh dang, bro. But I love the Browns fans. If you're a Browns fan, that is the first thing you see. Oh man, I gotta go. I gotta go put up my Saints helmet. I might switch it. Let me go do that. I gotta do that. This is bothering me too much. All right, we back. So now you get the Who Dat and the Browns dog pound. I also had to move this thing. You want to know what you get for winning special teams awards in the National Football League? If you can see it, it says BOPP, number 45. BOPP, Brotherhood of Perpetual Pain. People say you're not crazy to play special teams. They give out stuff like this. Got to be a little crazy. The other winner got a big shield. Just funny. Yo, community college. There you go, John Freeman. What is a sword? It's not a sword. It's a dagger. Much different defense mechanism. Yo, community college or university, 3.5. You know, big fatty of 5. Big fatty 5. That's a cool name. So if I was looking at community college or university, are you talking about to play or just for school? Because my opinion on this has evolved over the last year or two. I'm a big believer right now in 2-year colleges, trade schools, technical schools, going and learning a skill set that is going to lead to a job. I am a professor at a 4-year school. I think it is essential for some people to go to 4-year colleges, but I don't think the expectation going forward is going to be a 4-year college is for everyone. I think the expectation going forward is going to be What at 18? And that's hard. At 18, what do you think you want to do? What avenue do you want to go down? And if you are looking at it and saying, I love social media, let's just say social media, you're not going to learn a whole lot about social media at any 4-year college right now. So what is the point of going there? You can go and you're going to learn a lot, everywhere. So I asked about how league minimum works before, but never got a response. How's it work? So next year, league minimum, I believe, is going to be $650,000. And then it goes up each season by about $70,000. So if you're a second-year player next year, you get about $720. Third-year player, you get $790. This is significantly increased for NFL league minimums. When I was a rookie, it was $298 or right under $300,000. And even players in were like, wow, league minimum's $300,000. So in the last 20 years, this has increased with the television contracts. And as you see, why the NFL is playing is because of those big TV deals. So league minimum is the bare minimum you have to pay. And so if you're a rookie, bam, yes, you sign a $650,000 contract. Again, you only get paid on the weeks that you are on the team. So looking at it that way, if, for me, I got cut a lot. I wasn't always making league minimum, even though my contract was for league minimum. There is also a veteran minimum. So once you get above like 5 years, you can only make $1 million. Some people say this ends up hurting veterans because if I can get somebody for $650 that can do the same job as somebody for $1 million, it doesn't really come down to that. $300,000 is not going to impact the salary cap enough. But that is how league minimum works. Then if you go on injured reserve IR, your contract is cut in, depending on who you are, half, a third, however that looks. So instead of $650, maybe I went on IR in training camp. Now my contract is only for $400, which, hey, why the game is so competitive, why guys go into training camp with nothing to lose is they look at it and say, I'm either getting on IR or making the roster. IR still gets money and you still get a credited season. So good question, Alex McCoy. Quacky, Ursher, MPI, not worth it for majority of people. Woo! Quacky McWacky. Has to be Quacky McWacky. Could not agree with you more. I missed Ursher's MPI question. Not a lot of people, it's interesting things to sell. And so MPI is a form of insurance that has some investing and compounding. I'm a big believer in separating and getting the best of both worlds. Don't try to combine and get the one-stop shop. Go get the best investment account, go get the best insurance, looking at fees on both sides. Again, insurance products are usually sold, not bought. So anytime there is confusion, there's a lack of clarity in what the product actually is, you are understanding that there is going to be significant fees. I am with Quacky McQuacky in saying for vast majority of people, those types of accounts are not necessary. And I don't believe any account or any product is right for everyone. So toughest block in the NFL. I got to share that the other day. I'll make a piece of content about blocking $100 million man in Julius Peppers. Also led up on a lot of tough dudes. So what is the sword? Y'all saw the sword. It's a dagger. That's from the Saints for being what I get. I think I had the most special teams blocks or tackles. I think I got a belt for blocks. Not positive. Who was the person you met while playing football? No skill-based like personality. Who was the person you met while playing football? Not skill-based like personality. Who was the best person? King Brains. King Brains. One of the best people, honestly, and this is kind of a little funny, but a guy named Jason Wright. He actually just became the president of the Washington Football Club. He is a Northwestern grad. I was with him in Cleveland and then again in Arizona. Just all around good guy. He was, so I was with him in Cleveland first. And by the time I got to him in Arizona, he was a veteran. He was much more high paid than I was. He came, man, and gave me an envelope like my second day in Arizona. Again, I was practice squad guy, getting cut a bunch. and in the envelope was $200. I was like, what are you doing, Jay? Right? Like, what are you handing me money for? And he was like, I feel so bad. I don't got a spare car or rental or anything for you to use. So here's, your first week or two of the rental, $200. Never will forget that. And he's just that kind of guy. And you see his success is not surprising at all. Have you ever messed up a play really, really bad? All the time. If you're out there, not only are you messing up, you're getting beat, you're getting blown up. If you play a game long enough and you play against the right kind of competition, you should get embarrassed eventually. The amazing guys, the greats, don't get embarrassed very often, but even they do get embarrassed from time to time. So, yes, I had major minuses, major screw ups, plays that I thought I was getting cut. After even if the rest of the game, that's the part about being a fullback is, I get 30 reps. I have 28 pluses and one minus and one, I don't have 28 pluses. And you have a couple, like we call them hash marks, where it's just like, it was a nothing play. But, oh yeah, I had many plays, and I'll get to some of those where I get blown up. Tulsa Tom. What's good, Tulsa Tom? Hell yeah. Who dat nation, Smith? Who dat say they're going to beat them Saints? I'm a who dat for life, man. New Orleans is amazing. That's right. I remember you playing here. Cajun? No, you don't. You don't lie to me. Don't lie to me right now. That's right. So cool. Oh, damn. Is that signed by the whole team? Yeah, that Saints helmet signed by the 2011 Saints offense, which just so happened to be at the time the greatest offense of all time. Some few names like Pierre Thomas, Drew Brees, our offensive line, who I love, and you guys probably won't know. All the receivers, the cool guys, Mark Ingram. So yeah, that was a great year. Had to get the helmet signed, and then the other one next to it is probably signed by even somebody cool. Or sure, that one I'm not giving away. That's from Drew. There's another one over there. I got another ball somewhere that's signed by all of us too. Jizzle, I'm happy you're here, brother. Always happy you're here. Did you party a lot at WSU? EDP. Yeah, I had some very good times at Washington State. I was a student first. I never missed a day of class, and you can ask my professors that. So anytime I did enjoy myself, I got my butt up next day and went to class. But college is supposed to be enjoyed. I had an excellent time. There are some stories that I will not share, but if you find the right people, there are some very good stories about me back in the day. Now I'm a grown up. I don't do that anymore. Remember, these guys need to make this money stretch the entire lengths of their lives because they are putting their bodies on the line for football. Interesting comment there, and I would welcome and love your support in a post I just did about Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby being an NHL player, Hall of Fame player. He was scheduled to make about $10 million this year because of taxes, which we talked about, because of the coronavirus, because of his agent. He's only going to make, and again, only about $3 million. But if you look at a $10 million gross salary, $3 million is not anywhere near what you thought you were going to make. And so you're absolutely right, Jizzle. That $3 million now has to last him how many years on his spend and his cash need, which is a massive, massive piece. So we talked about it in Money Buckets. We talked about it in the Golden Rule. If you can identify your burn rate, which is going to be a topic at the end of all this in December, is the 5 numbers you need to begin 2021 with. If you can identify your burn rate, you can set up your entire financial plan. As a wealth manager, as somebody who used to do this, I would sit down with people and they would say, I made $800,000 last year. I'm a doctor. And I'd say, that's awesome. You have $16,000 in a 401k and $2,000 in a savings account. Where did it go? You're spending an exorbitant amount of money. So yeah, the game changes. Yep, totally right on insurance plus investment fees. Quacky McQuacky, I got to go follow you, bro. I don't know you, but I like you. I like the way you think. And that guy and I went back and forth on what his account is. He's a brilliant marketer, great salesman, but I just don't see the benefit of the product for the masses. For the individuals, possibly. Man can turn from football to finance on a dime. John Freeman, these are my passions, bro. I love it. And this is, if I can do anything on here, build a community, it would be people interested in finance who want to get their money in right, and the people who look at the sport world, football in particular, and want to have that conversation. So, yes, I connect these two dots. We've talked about rookie to veteran principles. Those will be the next book that is going to come out, and it's going to be principles I stole from NFL players that I now interpret into how to build out a financial plan. So, yes, football and finance, those are my jams. Those are my dreams. JJ15, welcome back. But Jizzle and John, y'all are my dudes, man. I like it. Appreciate y'all. Hello from Daniel. Daniel Valencia, welcome in. Hello. Tell the Andy Reid false start story. Good, resilient story. I see you, folks. That's my guy, Zach Fogel, also Money Vehicle Ambassador, been through the course, got his certification, big proponent. So, yes, Andy Reid's story, quick. It was not my first day, but one of the first days I was in Philadelphia. Here's the sad part, leaving Pullman. So I missed my senior graduation. I never got to walk at college. That's kind of a bummer, right? I didn't get to walk at my graduation in college because I had Eagles rookie camp. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, go to Eagles rookie camp. But here's the funny part. So it's my last night of college. Speaking of, did I have a good time? My roommates are like, dude, you're leaving tomorrow morning. You'll sleep. Like, you got to go from Pullman to Spokane to Denver to Philadelphia. Like, I had a full day of flights. And they're like, you just sleep on the plane. Let's stay up all night. Let's have a good night. Send off to Pullman. And so shockingly, I get to the Pullman airport, which is 2 doors, and it's, 3 people working the entire thing. There's only one flight at a time. And I get there just as they close the door. And they close the door. He walks around like a curtain, and now he's the guy welcoming people onto the flight, but he can't check me in anymore. And so I end up being 3 minutes late and miss that flight, which obviously when you're going from Pullman to Philadelphia, domino effect, I actually missed the first night of meetings. Not a great first impression. So then my second impression is lining up and having a false start. So I move, and the replacement running off the field and taking me out. And Andy Reid, Super Bowl champion, probably going to be a 2-time Super Bowl champion coach here soon, coming up and just saying, son, can't beat ourselves out there. And you just love coach. I love coach talk, son. And like a deep breath, like, where does the breath come from? Like, are you out of, Andy probably was out of breath. Andy used to be very, very heavy. Rumor has it he could put down 10 cheeseburgers the night before a home game in our hotel. That's respect. What was your Madden overall? Vegas Cal. So this is a good question. I ended up getting a 90 rating after some of my skills got seen. Obviously started in like the 60s. But yeah, Madden 25 had me at a 90 apparently, which is pretty cool. YouTube video popped up on my recommended Saints vs. Panthers 2010, and the first touchdown was your catch. First off, Panthers were really good back then. Secondly, I love it. And there's now, there's some viral, funny things. I got announced in the Superdome. Looks like a fireball's coming on my butt. All that stuff's cool. Tampa Bay checking in. Michael Sullivan, Wisconsin here. Look at how cool this community is. People showing up, beginning to engage, beginning to talk. Let's get to the topic and subject of the day. I've always wondered how the relationship between NFL coaches and their players are. So this is an interesting dynamic because in college, dude, bring back the flow. Oh, I wish I could. But nobody, I'm trying to be out there and building a business and being respectful, and people are no, nobody's going to buy or help or believe a dude with a ponytail, but they'll fear him. And that's what I needed it for. So that was my character. That was Samson. Tampa Bay, Wisconsin. Andrew, respect. So the relationship between NFL coach and its players. Did y'all see that? Or was that just me? Uh, is interesting because the dynamic shifts. The coach has authority and the coach has instruction, but there is a moment when a player gets more leverage, gets more credibility. If you have a $5 million contract, 15 or $100 million contract, the coach really doesn't control your job anymore. So there is this interesting dynamic. I've seen first round picks or high paid guys get up and walk out of meetings. The stories and the legends I've heard, Terrell Owens, I never played with him, but the legend goes is he would just wear his, big soundproof headphones into all the team meetings. You hear Marshawn Lynch didn't go to team meetings. So the dynamic becomes one of respect and looking at each other and saying, we're out to chase a dream and a vision, and we got to be able to count on one another. So it becomes much more respective than authoritative. Hardest defense you've played against. Niners 2011 was right up there. Bears had a couple good runs. Seahawks, yeah, shit. Got to put the Hawks in there. We didn't like coming to the West and playing against some of these defenses. Got to get your thoughts on Belichick, Brady divorce. I'm going to be interested to see how it plays out. Right now, neither of them are winning. I think they caught lightning in a bottle for a long, long time. I don't think it's because they broke up that they're starting to lose. I just think Father Time does, eventually beats us all. But it was sad. It's like, why? Why did Joe Montana go to the Chiefs? Why did Peyton Manning go to the Broncos? Well, I guess he won a Super Bowl. But why did Brett Favre bounce around? It's like, Tom, you did it all, bro. Just ride off into the sunset. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that, but they got more to prove. That's what makes them great, is they'll never remove that chip. What's my view on cryptocurrency? Great question. Quacky. Man, this is my guy now. Is becoming more of an institutional product, but isn't productive. So yeah, institutions are starting to believe in it. Institutions are starting to look at cryptocurrency and starting to see the coding as something that we will use in the future. And people are starting to leverage their bets in there. Personally, it will never become a currency. So we call it cryptocurrency. It will never become a currency until a country or a government establishes it as a recognizable, offering. I don't see that happening because it's untraceable and because it's anonymous. The two benefits everybody loves about it is why it can never be a public currency of exchange. I do see its value growing in the future because we have enough people who understand what it is, which 5 years ago, I barely understood what it was. So as more people are young and understanding of it, it will become more socially acceptable. But I don't believe it will ever become like a standard form of operation. I don't think you'll be able to use it to go buy McDonald's, for instance. But it is a very interesting technology and offering. Quacky, would love to hear your thoughts on it because, I would assume you have some insights and some good analysis. Since you were with the Saints, did you hate playing outside of the dome? I hated playing outside of the dome for a few reasons. One, yes, if I could play every game at 65 degrees, I would. I'm a Cali kid. I don't like the cold all that much. Going up to Green Bay and New York and the cold, it's just not as fun. It hurts. And it's just such a neat environment. The Superdome was a really cool place to play. But no, when we would go, I got to play the playoffs versus Packers, playoffs versus the Eagles. Those cold games, when it means something, nothing better than, a frozen tundra. They established themselves on the frozen tundra of the Green Bay old clips. Do you think Deshaun Watson deserves better? Deserves better from his team, from his coaches? I mean, yeah, they got rid of his number one weapon. So that's a blatant conversation right there, though. You can't have, and it's very difficult to go all in on one receiver and one quarterback because then you don't have any money for your line or your defense. So do I think he deserves better? I think he's a talented young man. I think he is going to be competitive. It is yet to be seen if he is going to be elite. The James, who dat? Always. Bitcoin jumped today. Anthony, checking it out. Bitcoin up. Here's my question. Why? Why did it jump today? I'm older and FIPM, so haven't bought, but Mass Mutual buying, it opened my eyes. Yes, as institutionals get into it, it is. Plus a lot of other well-known investors, Guggenheim. So I think it's here to stay, but very hard to value. We'll make it a 1% position to start and watch. I like that. 1%, get in it, see what it is. So we got to get to finance today. Got distracted, but I love it. This is a good community. Should I refinance student loans to pay smallest amount possible per month or get rid of them fast? If you can refinance right now to a much lower percentage, I would. That's all I'm going to say about that. If I can get, 2, 3, 4% on my student loan and get that interest deduction for tax purposes, you're starting to use that money and then go out and do something else with it. I think that's a great advice. Bitcoin has been fairly interesting lately, was stagnant since about mid 2018, but on the rise. And yeah, I don't know where it's going. I don't know what its valuation is. So that's where I hesitate as an investor in it. Maybe Jordan Resnick is going to join you in that escapade. But I want to talk about introducing you to the world of investments. And this is going to be part of the Bitcoin concept. So as we look at it, we are introducing ourselves today to Chapter 6, How Do I Begin Investing? We have to begin with 3 main points, 3 main thoughts. When you begin to read, you begin with ABC. When you begin to invest, you begin with do, re, mi, also singing. That's from Sound of Music. If you go through the course, you're actually going to get to see me sing, which, no, nobody really wants that. It's a short and it's painless. But as we understand this, the capitalistic market, what we all belong to, and capitalism gets this negative tone and connotation. Capitalism, taxes, Capitalism is simply a structure that says there is a free market where we can exchange the private ownerships of goods for a profit. That is all capitalism means, is I own something, you want some of it, I'm allowed to share it and sell it to you for a profit. So we have to understand this capitalistic society, where we are in the world today, politically, as we move forward, could we steer a little bit away from a capitalistic focused world? Possibly. But as of now, the world is capitalistic. The world believes in this system. And what this system does, number one, is produce a profit. If you don't believe the market's going to produce a profit, you should not be an investor. What I'm here to tell you is the market is going to produce a profit. You should be an investor. The definition of capitalism, Vegas, is the buying and selling of private goods for a profit. The buying and selling of private, I own it, for a profit. And profit is the key. So as we look at it, the 3 lessons today are do, re, mi. You can remember it because that's how you begin to sing. Do, re, mi. Do follow the golden rule. What is the golden rule? Do not spend more than you make. Focus on what you keep. If you spend more than you make, you never will have anything to invest. People overlook this rule all the time, and they don't realize if I make $100,000 and I spend $100,000, I have nothing to invest. So looking at do not break the golden rule. Got to live golden. Ray, return is risk. Return, Ray, is risk. What we have to accept is the only reason you can actually make money on investments is because there is a possibility you can lose money. Why would somebody not invest if there wasn't a risk related to it? And so as you look at this, somebody's going to walk up to you and say, hey, did you see the possibility of this company you can buy into? They have a 5% possible return, or they have a 20% possible return. If there is a higher return possibility, there is a higher risk possibility. Anytime somebody begins to talk to you about an investment and says the word guaranteed, oh, there's no risk whatsoever, they're stealing from you. This week, one of Mark Messier, NHL, and that's 2 NHLs in one day, NHL 15 times All-Star, is suing somebody because That person, it was a cannabis CEO, that person gave him a personal guarantee on his investment. He didn't realize in business there are no guarantees. So what we have to understand is if there is a return, there will also be a risk. Agreed with you on return, but cash equals guaranteed real loss over time. That's a very interesting piece. So what Quacky is saying is cash is going to be risk-free, but really lose money. Cash does have some return elements, but over time, because of inflation, because of currency exchange, because of all kinds of governmental impacts, mainly inflation, cash is never going to buy what it did in the past. $10 50 years ago bought a lot more than $10 today. So holding your money in cash, holding your money simply in a savings account is not going to generate or create the employees that we're after. So it's an excellent point out, Quacky. Bearing's Dad says, do you know Mickey Brooks Johnson? She's our small town girl. I don't know Mickey Brooks. She sounds great. Is she interested in finance? But so we have our two. Do follow the golden rule. Ray, return equals risk. Bringing up the concept of inflation. There is a risk beyond just investment loss. A lot of risks. So the third one, do, re, me, my emotions. Ben Graham, the man who taught Warren Buffett how to invest, said the chief problem of the individual investor is their emotions. The idea that if something loses 5% and something else gains for 10%, we are naturally inclined to run away from the 5% loser and run to the 10% winner. What that is, though, in the investing world, that is buying high, made 10%, selling low, lost 5%. This is the definition of losing money in investments. I buy things high and I sell them low. So we have to control our investments, our emotions. Megan Brooks Johnson. Oh, okay. Yeah. WC track star. Well, there you go. So go Cougs always. But as we look at this, the number one drain on people's investments, the coronavirus hit, Robinhood people, everybody's going. Bitcoin's up, Bitcoin's down. What's the market doing? Where's the airports going? How are we getting in on this? A-Rod's buying hotels. We look at all of the news headlines and we begin to emotionally react. If you have the discipline to stay in the game, the discipline to set your goals and to build out a plan and a strategy to achieve those goals, you will be rewarded for controlling your emotions. So that is a massive, massive element in the investment world. And it's very big as a young investor to realize I'm going to be tempted. There are going to be crazy things that are going to happen. My objective is to look at my goals and my strategy. And if my goals don't change, my strategy shouldn't derive away from where I was too much. Do you think the finance meetings that players go to in the NFL are beneficial to them? EDB, I hope so, because I lead some of them. So yes, it's extremely hard. And so do, re, mi, we're wrapping up investments. Tomorrow we're going to talk about section 2 of the investment world. But yes, EDB, I get to lead those seminars today, teaching the rookies as well as second, third year players about finances. That's what, that's what my business is, what I do now. Do I think they're beneficial? Absolutely. Because I have players who come to me and say, man, you explain this like conceptually, like I've never heard. So it can help them. Can you help everyone in any room? No. So I need to always keep that in the back of my head. But also education is an important first step. And empowerment, actually going and doing things, is where the rubber really meets the road. So can we educate people? Yes, I can sit here and tell you all you need to know about money. Are you going to go do it? That's the challenge. That's the game. Is Josh 123 going to take something they learned today and implement it? I can't tell you that. So that is the lesson. So today, winner of the day, do, re, mi. What are they? What do they stand for? What does do, re, mi stand for? We're going to get a winner of the day today, and then we'll get Vegas Cal, it is essential for success to balance between investing, saving, and spending. In our money buckets, we look at the 5 choices we have, and we still see Daniel Gonzalez, never give up, y'all. Respect. We always look at the balance because we need to enjoy today. We need to enjoy the moment. And so we always have to balance. Ryan Coffee coming. I like it. Let me see right here. We always have to balance how much do we want to go to future me? How much do we want to go to something in the near future, like a savings goal? And then how much do I have to spend on a daily? We have to keep those 3 aligned and in balance because this is our world. What is money supposed to bring us? Peace of mind and security. It's not supposed to stress us out. It's not supposed to overwhelm us. It's not supposed to make us feel anxious, and it does to most people. So as you get that balance, you will begin to really understand why and how it benefits to make money go to work for you and make it your employee. Turn equals risk. Don't be emotional. Ryan Coffee 89. Love it. Let's see. Hawkman J joined. All right. So Ryan Coffee got the dub for the day. User 104-52720. You got any questions for us? Let's get one more question before we get out of town today. Tomorrow is Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Tomorrow, 7 Eastern, we are going to be going into what investments free lunch is. Today, we learned the fundamental principles. Really motivational, man. Truly the finest. Vegas Cal. We're good. I like it. That's what we're here to do. I get to, spit a little fire and, bring in some of that like football mindset stuff. But if we can empower people, if we can get people to see money differently, that is the mission and the objective we're here to do. Turn off comments police. Comments street police. I don't know what that means. All right. No more questions. I will bid you adieu for the night. Ryan Coffee 89. Congrats on the win. You're going to be getting the money prize. You get money. You get a course. You get a book. Your choice. Appreciate y'all. Enjoy the day. See you tomorrow. No worries, Hawkman Jay. You're late. It's all good. Have a good one. Quacky, welcome. Hope to see you again. Quacky McWacky. Appreciated your insights, Quacky. That was awesome.